Welcome back to the Min-Max Games YouTube channel. We got something a little bit different for you today. As you can see in front of me, I have this beautiful little box of penguins called Vibes. Now this is a new trading card game that came out last December that myself and Peter got a chance to try out when we were at SCGCon Minneapolis. And we kind of fell in love with this game. Although from the surface it might seem to be maybe a little oriented to a younger audience, or it might just be kind of confusing because maybe you've seen the Pudgy Penguin IP before, but have no idea what it is about this card game. Well, I just kind of want to explain a little bit about it to you today as I go ahead and open this box. The game is very fun. It's made by Orange Cap Games, and although it might have more of a cutesy appeal to it, the gameplay is actually extremely high level and can get very sweaty. There's an online client that you can play the game. Currently, the singles market is in development. Min-Max Games is working on that alongside of Star City Games. And we're just really passionate about this game. We think that it has a lot to offer to the community. So I just wanted to sit here today, open a box, chat a little bit about it, just kind of vibe out, you know? Just have a good time, explain what this game's about, like I said, and just kind of get a feel for if you are interested in this kind of game. So what could I compare this to? The gameplay is very similar if you've played Lorcana or Star Wars. It seems to kind of split right in between the middle of those two games. So if you enjoy either of those games, you'll probably be a big fan of Vibes. Here's a QR code. Every single pack comes with this QR code. Maybe I shouldn't show that so you guys won't steal them and put them onto the online client. So I'm going to put those face down so that we can open them for our own online account. But as you can see here, some really cool artwork, some hilarious references too. Like obviously if you like Dragon Ball Z, this is Dragon Ball Z. This is Truman Show. The cards are very cute, very good quality. I love the personality for all the cards, and every pack comes with a rainbow foil and then a rare or higher. And then there are it could be any amount of uncommons, I guess. And then these are just commons. So the rarities go common, uncommon, rare, and then epic. Every version of the card, kind of like Flesh and Blood, has a rainbow foil variant in it. And it's, I've been told, 10 times rare than pulling the normal variant. So a rainbow foil version of an epic is very rare. And this is a first edition printing of the game, so it is a smaller print run at this time. But we have secured some of it, so if you do want to purchase it, you can go to the Min-Max Games website. But the game has just got a lot of charm to it. You see Mukbang Penguin. I'm a big fan of mukbangs if anybody else is out there, so I saw this and I was like, okay, he gets me. But if any of you guys are interested in the game, it kind of works like this. There's going to be a turn cycle that goes back and forth. So when I start my turn, I'm going to draw up, and then I'm going to play out a rod, which is kind of like a land. But if you play Lorcana, it's like inking a card. But any card can be converted into a rod. And then after you do that, you can play out a penguin. Each penguin you can see has a cost at the top left corner there. And then when you play out the penguin, it also has Pudgy, which is the bottom left. So it's a 2-mana resource system. So you can use your penguins then to play action cards like this. And then there's colors. So there's 5 colors. And each of those colors have respective Pudgy. So you can play any kind of combination that you want, but you need to make sure you have the correct colored Pudgy to pay for the action card that you have. Now, there are chase cards in this. So kind of like a cold foil, there are cards called sketch cards, which look really cool, so I'm hoping I can pull one today for you. But given the print run for this first set, there are 10? Can't remember exactly what they said, but every card has a sketch variant, and I think there's only like 10 of each card that is available as a sketch. I could be wrong about that. It's like either 10 or 50, but it's very, very small. Okay, more rares. What else can I say? So some of you might be off-put. Some of you might be like, why should I be interested in this game at all? Like, I don't care about penguins. I don't care about vibing. I don't really care about playing anything outside of the game that I currently play. What I think is really interesting about this game is that it doesn't really want to take over the current game that you're playing, spending all of your time. It really wants to work alongside of that. For me, I really enjoy this game casually or playing with my friends, or playing at a local weekly or something like that where you can just have a good time. The cards at this point aren't super expensive. They really wanted to make sure that you could play if you wanted to play the game, and then if you wanted to get really high rarity stuff, you could do that. But a lot of the cards are pretty affordable. You can get the starter decks that are currently available for 4 of the colors. Here's our first epic. We got Chubopolis Unleashed. Very cool. But you can get 4 of the colors all in starter decks, and the starter decks come in 2 deck groupings. So if you wanted to buy one box, it has 2 decks, so you can immediately start playing with a friend. The green and yellow are the beginner, and then the red and blue is the intermediate. So they have a little bit more advanced gameplay mechanics. And I will tell you, they are more advanced. There's a lot more that goes into this game once you start getting really into it in regards to like stacking and chaining actions and how things resolve and stuff like that. It gets very intricate. But I showed this game to a number of Flesh and Blood players, and I think every single person that played this game, after they gave it an honest chance, was like, yeah, that was actually pretty fun. I really enjoyed that game, which I think was a really good indicator for me to show that the game has a lot of potential, and that I think a lot of people, regardless of what card game you come from, can find something to enjoy from the game. And it's very cute, just in general. Like, the artwork is adorable. I love the penguins. I think like kids can love this, adults can love this, if you just kind of give it an honest and fair shot. The boxes are a little expensive. They're $144 MSRP. The reason why they're so expensive is because this is a first edition print run, which was printed at a very limited rate. So there's not a lot of product out there. Obviously, the company behind this, we've got to talk to a couple people. They're very, very smart people. They're very aware that at the first print run, they don't want to go too crazy. They really want to gauge interest first before they decide how intense they want to get in terms of how much they want to print. But the good thing that they left open is, since it's first edition print, they will be able to print unlimited down the line if more product is needed. Now, they really want to support the online client first, and I will say the online client does work very well. There is a pretty big community that's playing it at all times from all around the world, and it really is well made. They made it from the ground up, so they designed it in-house. And it's got like all these cute little animations, like when your penguins vibe at the end. It's really cool. So to kind of continue on with like the gameplay itself, you know, you start with the turn where you play out your penguins, goes to your opponent, they play out their penguins, goes back to you. If you have an action card to play, you can then play any actions at that point. Your opponent can play actions, and then after that, you go to the vibe check. And the vibe check makes you get to look at what penguin on the board has the highest vibe. And you can see vibe here in the bottom right corner. I don't know if you can see that from how far we are at this camera, but this has a 10 vibe, which is pretty high. And so whoever wins the vibe check will get the Baron, which I guess I should show that now. That's kind of like the Star Wars component, where if you've played Star Wars and there's an initiative, you'll get the Baron, you control the Baron, and then if your opponent wins the vibe check, they will get the Baron. Whoever wins vibe check gets to take a card off the top of their deck and convert it into a rod, and whoever loses draws a card. So you're never completely behind if you are losing vibe checks. And losing vibe check is actually kind of good because you enjoy getting more card advantage. So unlike other games where you might lose the round and it could be pretty bad, there's actually a lot of strategy that goes in between intentionally losing vibe checks so that you only need to win the one at the very end that actually matters, which is a really interesting tug-of-war kind of gameplay where you're going back and forth, really trying to vibe and find the advantages over your opponent. All right, another epic is Dummy Thick Disco Ball. Yeah, dummy thick. They really appreciate all the curves of the penguins, and they really want to play into how Pudgy and how much vibe you really have, which I think is nice. I love all the like keywords for the game, like flopping your penguin is like exhausting it. It's the phase at the turn when you untap everything is called the unfloppening, which I think is pretty cool. But the vibe checks are nice. Like Peter and I, when we played this game in Minneapolis, we literally played this game like the entire weekend. I think once we first played it, I think we played probably about 50 games. We kind of fell in love with the game, and as soon as we played it and saw how much potential it had, we wanted to reach out and start to support the game and give it to you guys and give you a little taste of what to experience, because it's a very, very fun game. I love this card. These are rods, or it's like a mystery card, so when it's rodded, rods go face down. I can play this on my action turn, so it gives up a rod, but it gives me tempo, and it's a free action that can be played. And there's a card of like this in every color, and they're all quite good. I'm struggling with these packs a little bit. Like, look at that. You can't not like that. There's 3 penguins trying to get in to, like, I don't know, what is that? A roller coaster at an amusement park? Do they have those in Antarctica? I'd be surprised if there's an amusement park in Antarctica. That's where penguins are from, right? Antarctica? I think so. I wanted to be a zoologist as a kid. It's really turning up, you know, you can really see those skills being shown now as I work at a card shop. Well, this penguin is really cool. The other cool thing about this game is if you get the starter deck, the yellow deck is actually almost a complete meta deck. Like you just need to add 4 more cards or 8 more cards and it basically becomes a meta deck. So it's very affordable, very cheap to get into if you wanted to enjoy that kind of thing. Purple right now, purple-blue is very, very powerful. I think that's like the best deck in the game. It's kind of like a dredge mill deck if any of you have played Magic and kind of know what those terms are. A lot of the key archetypes that they introduced into this first set of the game are kind of spotlighting some very, very iconic playstyles from Magic. So the blue starter deck is Lantern Control, basically. And then the red starter deck is Twiddle Storm. If any of you play Magic, you know what that means at all. Otherwise, if you don't worry about it. Just buy the decks and play them, and you'll enjoy them regardless of if you have that kind of connection with Magic or not. So I'm really hoping to pull a sketch card here so you guys can get a see of what it looks like, because they look really cool. If you ever played Yu-Gi-Oh!, they're kind of like Ghost Rares in a way. They kind of look like Ghost Rares. But they actually have like the key sketches of what they wanted the art to look like in Rock Penguin. That's dope. But I've been working on playing on the online client, kind of getting a feel for the game. And it's hard. Like, although it's very cutesy, the mechanics of the game can get pretty sweaty. There's a lot of pretty good players out there too. This weekend is going to be the first, I think they're doing a 20K for the game. It's like one of the first bigger tournaments for the game at SCG Con Hartford. And I'm very curious to see how many people participate in that, and then also how many people, like, I know some Flesh and Blood players are going to be playing in it. I'm curious to see if they top. I know there's going to be obviously Magic and Lorcana players playing in it. So I'm curious to see from all the different TCGs who kind of comes up on top and what the first kind of bigger tournament is like, because I know Star City Games is going to be selling singles there. Strike Zone, I know they have some singles. But right now the singles market is not super diverse, so we're going to be working on that, opening some stuff up to try to expand and grow into the singles market a little bit more so that people can start playing this game more regularly. The people behind the game are working on OP currently, so there is going to be an organized play that goes with it. There's going to be things that tie it back and forth between the online client and in-person tournaments. So there's just like a lot of potential for future endeavors. And their team, they have like a lot of really cool people on it from all different kind of card games, whether it be Magic, whether it be Flesh and Blood, whether it be Lorcana. So if you are into any of those games, give it a shot, pick up a starter deck, play with a friend, and I think you'll really enjoy the game. I mean, how could you not? Look at these cute penguins. I love this card. Send it too hard. Pushing his friend off a cliff. Tragic. All right, last pack. Popcorn Penguin. This is actually one of the best cards in the game right now, so this is a really good pull. Awesome. And then we got a foil version of Cool Story Bro. This is the blue rod that you can be flipped from being face down. But yeah, so if you guys enjoy this or want to see more or learn more about this game, let me know. We'd be happy to do some more openings and then also play some games. But you will be seeing this game a little bit more frequently on this channel just because it's become one of our new loves and we are really enjoying it. And, you know, like I've said before in my past videos, if you find something that you're enjoying, keep doing it, hold on to it, and enjoy it while it lasts, you know, because life is fleeting. And when you do find things you enjoy, you might as well do it and do it to the best of your ability. So I'm Sam Dando. Hope you guys enjoy this. We'll see you soon. Love you guys. Peace.
The mechanics of the game can get pretty sweaty.